and welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Karen.
Bird. Hi everybody, I'm Shane.
Today we're looking at day 2 of Secret Eskimo Escape. And the vocabulary words are immediately.
Immediately.
I'll call a taxi to come pick us up immediately.
Grocery.
Grocery.
Let's go grocery shopping this afternoon.
Modesty.
Modesty.
Isabel's sense of modesty won't allow her to wear short skirts.
Bond.
Bond.
There's a strong bond between Jake and his brothers.
Explore.
Explore.
This article explores the relationship between sleep and diet. So we're still talking about this Secret Eskimo Escape. A great show on TLC.
Yes.
About the group of young Native Alaskans.
That's right, and they travel to the U.S. and
San
they
Diego,
go to
I think.
San Diego. That's right. So what do they experience when they get there? I think we go into a little detail today about their experiences.
Like what we said last time, they must have experienced a lot of culture shock because it's so different, right? And I remember they mentioned that they went to the grocery and then they found out everything was so cheap.
Yeah, there's a huge variety. Everything's really cheap because in Alaska they have to fly everything over there, so sometimes things could be 5 times as much.
Exactly. So I guess they're pretty surprised and pretty happy to see the price of the items, right? And also, it was the first time for some people to go to the beach.
That's right, and they see people wearing bikinis and
swimsuit.
Yeah, and they feel wow, because in Alaska they must dress very warm.
All the time.
They're more modest too, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's a really big step for them as well.
It's a really big change, yeah.
And what happens next? They also explore dating.
Yeah.
Working,
dating, relationships, and sometimes they get in arguments with each other,
That's
but
right.
they form a close bond with each other.
That's
but
right.
They start to run out of money.
Oh no, and now they have to decide whether they want to stay in the United States or go back to Alaska.
What will they do?
I don't know. What would you do?
I don't know. I guess
what would you do?
We'll have to watch to find out.
Okay, let's watch. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Secret Eskimo Escape.
The group lands in San Diego and immediately discovers that it is extremely different from Alaska. Even a trip to the grocery store results in culture shock as the group sees the varieties available on the shelves and the low prices. In remote Alaskan towns, grocery items can cost as much as 5 times what they'd cost on the mainland. This is because the items must be delivered by air.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're reading day 2 of an article on the TLC TV show called The Secret Eskimo Escape.
That's right. Some young Native people are moving to San Diego from Alaska. It's a big change for them, so we're following along to enjoy their experiences.
That's right.
So let's see what happens. The group lands in San Diego. This, of course, is an American city, but it's very far from cold and icy Alaska. It's in Southern California near Mexico, so it's very hot and sunny. And immediately the group discovers that it is extremely different from Alaska. Absolutely. You would discover that as soon as you stepped out of the plane. The heat would hit you. So it would happen very quickly or immediately. If something happens immediately, it happens with no time wasted. It happens right away, just like that. For example, I'll call a taxi to come pick us up immediately.
Now, as you mentioned, the temperature would be the first thing they immediately notice.
Right.
Because the difference must be huge between
That's true.
Alaska and California.
Really huge.
Even a trip to the grocery store results in culture shock. As the group sees the varieties available on the shelves and the low prices.
True.
Now, a grocery is some food or drink that you buy, especially for your home, for your family to eat. We also go to the supermarket to buy these things, but a grocery store sells only the foods and drinks. For example, we could say, let's go grocery shopping this afternoon. Now, what's culture shock?
Wow, culture shock is when you go to a place where people do everything differently from you. If you go to, for example, North America, you'll discover people don't eat rice very much. People drive their cars all the time. People live in big houses. And if you come from Taiwan, where people eat rice every day, where people don't drive that much because cars are difficult and people live in smaller apartments, wow, everything would be very different. Now, if you throw in a different language, different weather, different religions, all sorts of different things like that, it can be very difficult for people who are traveling to kind of get used to this. A lot of people either love it or they hate it. Well, that feelings of you get, the feelings of being, I'm not at home and I don't understand this place, those are the feelings of culture shock.
So explaining again that how different it is in what you can do and see and buy.
Yeah.
Well, in remote Alaskan towns where these 5 Eskimo kids are from, grocery items can cost as much as 5 times what they'd cost on the mainland. By mainland, we mean the continental U.S. So there are 48 states under Canada, above Mexico,
And that big part of America.
and there's also Hawaii, which is down in the Pacific Ocean, and Alaska up near Russia.
Right.
So all the things that they get in these Alaskan towns are from the mainland, and they're so expensive because the items must be delivered by air.
Oh, of course. Anything that you buy in the stores there, they have to fly it up. So, of course, the price will be more expensive and there won't be so many choices, which is the other thing the kids were shocked about. If things go by air, by sea, by land, by rail, we're talking about how it's moved around. By air, of course, plane, by sea, by boat, by rail, that would be on a train, and by land or by road, you'd put it in a car or a truck or something. So Alaska being thousands of kilometers from the nearest American state, they'd have to fly everything or send it by air. All right, well, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back to find out more about our Alaskan friends in San Diego.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 远离爱斯基摩是旅游生活频道的节目。那在这个节目里面，可以看到一群阿拉斯加年轻人，他们离乡背井去追寻自己梦想。那当这一群人抵达圣地亚哥之后，马上就发现这里跟阿拉斯加太不一样了，连去一趟杂货店都会造成文化冲击，因为他们发现架上可以买的东西种类非常多，而且价格又低廉。可是，在他们的家乡啊，日常杂货用品他们售价高达美国本土的5倍，那是因为距离太遥远了，他们商品都必须用空运的。好 ，by air 就表示是以空运的方式。那这边还有2个单字。Immediately 是指立刻、马上，也就是立马，那是当副词来用。那么 grocery 是指杂货店，我们也可以说 grocery store。好，再来看 mainland 这个字在文中是指美国本土，也就是排除了阿拉斯加、还有夏威夷以及其他岛屿。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Secret Eskimo escape.
Going to a warm beach for the first time, the girls are confronted by the issue of modesty and wearing a bikini. Celebrating Mardi Gras, the group further feels the differences between their own culture and the one they're experiencing. Through it all, the group members sometimes argue, but they've also formed a tight bond with one another.
Okay, so the differences in Alaska are not only in the grocery store.
Nope.
It's also going to places that Alaska doesn't have, like beaches.
Oh, that's right. Well, they have beaches in Alaska. They have lots of water, but not places you want to go and sunbathe or swim. It'd be really, really cold. So yeah, going to a beach will be a different experience in San Diego.
Right, especially a warm beach. So going to a warm beach for the first time, the girls are confronted by the issue of modesty
Okay.
and wearing a bikini.
I can understand this. Yes, modesty is that feeling of being shy. You know, if you go to a beach and you're not used to taking your clothes off, you might kind of walk around and feel a little uncomfortable, like people are looking at you. You have a feeling of modesty. You don't want to show off your body or a lot of your skin because it makes you feel embarrassed and uncomfortable. Here we're talking about a little bit more in terms of what you're comfortable showing to the public. Right? A lot of people don't like to stand up and have people look at them or show off themselves in some way because they have this strong feeling of modesty, which is like being a little bit shy. For example, Isabel's sense of modesty won't allow her to wear short skirts. She likes longer skirts because showing off a lot of her legs makes her feel a little uncomfortable, as would wearing a bikini if you're the kind of person from Alaska who's probably never worn something like that, or very, very rarely, suddenly you're wearing almost no clothes. It feels like you're wearing underwear, and there's all these strange people around looking at you. You'd turn red.
And of course, celebrating Mardi Gras, which
okay.
is a big celebration, especially in the South.
New Orleans, it's really popular. It's a religious festival, but it's kind of just become a big street party.
Right. Which means Fat Tuesday.
Yes, that's right.
That's all I know. The group further feels the differences between their own native Alaskan culture and the one they're experiencing.
Okay.
So I guess they don't just stay in San Diego, they go down to New Orleans as well.
Could be, yeah, or maybe they just go to a Mardi Gras party in San Diego, but it would be like us when we came here and suddenly, you know, there's these temple celebrations and they have all the dragons and the fireworks. It would be so strange for these people because they've never experienced something like that before. Through it all, though, the group members sometimes argue, right? They are young people, they're all traveling. It's kind of a stressful thing when you're far from home.
Yeah.
So it can be easy to sort of argue or be unhappy some of the time. But they've also formed a tight bond with one another, right? A bond is what friends have. What is a bond?
A bond is a connection between two things, but in this case, two people, or many people, that holds them together.
Okay.
It's a strong emotional feeling towards one another of loyalty and friendship.
Yeah.
Now, of course, with these group members all together, they're all experiencing the same feelings of culture shock. So, of course, they can kind of hold on to each other to remind themselves of where they came from and why they're still in this strange place.
That's true. We have an example sentence for bond, don't we?
There's a strong bond between Jake and his brothers.
Oh, okay, a family bond, a family connection. That's good. All right.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break and we'll come back more with the secret Eskimo escape.
在阿拉斯加那么冷的地方，没有温暖的海滩可以玩水。来到圣地亚哥当然要玩一下啦。那女孩们她们来到圣地亚哥就第一次去海滩，这时候面临了端庄以及该不该穿比基尼的问题。好，这群人他们在庆祝狂欢节的时候，也进一步的感受到他们自己的文化跟正在体验的这种文化差异非常大。好，来看一下 modesty 这个名词，它表示端庄、谦逊，而文中的 Mardi Gras 它是狂欢节。那这个词本来是来自法语，本来有 Fat Tuesday 油腻的星期二的意思。那它其实是指在节日前一天，人们会借机会大吃大喝。现在呢，就演变成一种热闹的节庆。那我们中文常常翻译成狂欢节。好，这群年轻人他们经历这一切的体验跟冲击，有时候虽然彼此有一些争执，可是也建立了紧密的情感联系。来，我们看一下 bond B-O-N-D bond 这个字，它当名词就是指情感联系或是契合，意思就跟 connection 是差不多的。好，我们接着回到课文中。
Secret Eskimo escape.
As these young men and women explore dating, working, and pursuing their dream jobs, their money begins to run low. Therefore, they must face the decision of whether to return to Alaska or remain in the lower 48. Watch Secret Eskimo Escape to find out what happens to the group and what each member ultimately learns from his or her adventures.
So the five Alaskan friends are pursuing their own dreams.
Yep.
But they have their shared pact and their bond that holds them together, even through arguments sometimes. And they have all these different experiences, which, although they're together, they have to experience on their own. Our article says, as these young men and women explore dating, working, and pursuing their dream jobs, their money begins to run low.
But they're having fun. It says they explore dating, working, and pursuing their dream jobs. When you explore something, you basically look around in a new place, in a new area. You're discovering new things. So up in Alaska, there probably weren't many people of their same age.
Yeah.
So dating would have been difficult because you're in a small town and there's 5 girls and 5 boys and everybody knows each other really, really well. So dating would be a little bit uncomfortable or boring, or it's like you're dating your friends from junior high school. It'd be a little weird. Anyway, working also, right? Trying new jobs, things that they can't do in Alaska, and pursuing their dream jobs. These are all new experiences that they're figuring out, that they're trying out, that they're liking or not liking, but they're exploring them. That's the important thing. They're experiencing and trying out new things. For example, this article explores the relationship between sleep and diet. So it looks at a lot of the different things. We get a lot of new information.
So therefore, they must face the decision of whether to return to Alaska, all the way back to the cold place,
Go home.
or remain in the lower 48.
The lower 48. Maybe you can explain that to everyone.
That's what I guess the Alaskans refer to the continental U.S., the mainland, because there are 48 states there, and then there's Alaska and Hawaii elsewhere.
Okay.
So the lower 48.
Right. Okay, I understand. I guess in Hawaii they call it the colder 48 or something like that, because Hawaii is so nice and warm. Anyways, watch Secret Eskimo Escape. Watch it. Turn on your TV right now. No, not now. After we're finished. Turn on your TV and watch this show. Why? To find out what happens to the group and what each member ultimately learns from his or her adventure. Yeah, are they going to stay in San Diego? Are they going to move back? Maybe some of them will stay, some of them will move back. Well, we'll have to watch it and ultimately learn what happens. When you do something ultimately, in this case, we mean at the end. So you have to kind of watch the show and discover at the end of the show what is the final story for all of these people. Do they stay? Do they go? Are they happy? Are they sad? We don't know.
We don't know.
We must
but
watch.
Speaking of the end, this is the end of our article. So
all right.
ultimately, we can all watch the Eskimo Escape on our own,
That sounds good.
and we will.
Okay then.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
节目看到后来，你就会发现，随着这群年轻男女啊，他们去探索约会、工作，还有追求梦想职业，他们钱就慢慢开始要用完了，所以就必须做抉择，是要回到阿拉斯加，还是要继续留在美国本土。好，那这边的 The Lower 48就是指排除阿拉斯加、夏威夷之外的美国48州。那这意思就其实跟我们之前学到的 Mainland 美国本土意思是差不多的。好，再来看单字 Explore 是指探索、探究，它是当动词来用。那我们还可以用片语 run low 来表示不足或是所剩无几，像是 Time is running low 就表示快要没时间了。好啦，那我们其实真的时间不多了。如果同学们想要知道这群人后来会发生什么事，就要收看这个节目哦。那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hello， 又到了 Grammar Express， 我是 Yvette。离乡背景到新的地方，还要接受许多的文化冲击。In remote Alaskan towns, grocery items can cost as much as 5 times what they'd cost on the mainland. 在遥远的阿拉斯加小镇，日常杂货品项的售价可能高达美国本土的5倍，这是因为商品必须用空运来运送。As much as 高达，这个片语后面接表示数值的名词，表示高达或者是多达，和 up to 的意思相近。用 as much as 的时候，常暗示数字高得惊人，或者是令人意外，也就是文章里的用法。Jay weighed as much as 100 kilograms when he was in high school. Jay 中学的时候体重高达100公斤。Celebrating Mardi Gras, the group further feels the differences between their own culture and the one they are experiencing. 这群人庆祝狂欢节的时候，进一步感受到他们自己的文化和正在体验的文化差异之大。Further 和 farther 都是 far 的比较级，也都可以当副词和形容词使用，差别如下。Further 是形容抽象的时间、程度或者是范围进一步或者是另外的意思，也就是文章里的用法。Farther 则是用来形容实际空间距离较远的。比如说 Let me further explain this for you. 让我进一步为您解释。The subway station is just a bit farther than the bus stop. 地铁站只比公车站远一点。随着这群年轻男女探索约会、工作、追求梦想职业，
他们的钱也开始快用完了。As these young men and women explore dating, working, and pursuing their dream jobs, their money begins to run low. Run low 的意思是不足或者是所剩无几。这个片语当不及物用，用法因主词不同而有差异。Something run low 是指某事物不足或者是所剩无几，也就是文章里的用法。Somebody run low on something 则是指某某人快用完某事物了。Faye pulled into a gas station because her fuel was running low. 费开进一家加油站停下来，因为她的油快没了。We are running low on tissue paper. 我们的面纸快用完了。相关的片语是 run out， 指用完或者是完全没了。用法相同，但是以人当主词的时候，介系词 on 要改成 of， 用法是 somebody run out of something。Andy has run out of money, so he has to go back home. Andy 把钱用光了，只好回家。今天介绍的文法要多练习使用哦。我们下次见，拜拜。
3, 2, 1, action!
回到未来的男主角 Marty 回到了1965年，在那里度过2个多礼拜的冒险生活，最后终于成功回到1985年。但是他的女朋友却觉得他们2个才分开1个小时，而在 Marty 的心中却真是一日不见如隔3秋啊。
Jennifer! Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Are you ever a sight for sore eyes? Let me look at you.
Are you okay, Marty? You're acting like you haven't seen me in a week.
Well, I miss you. I really, really miss you, Jennifer.
There you are, Marty. I've been looking for you. You have to come with me back to the future right now.
Come on, Doc. I'm with my girlfriend here and we're just about to try out my new wheels.
Well, bring her along. This concerns her too. Come on, we'll
what happened? What do you mean? What happens to us? What do we turn into assholes or something
No.
in the future?
No. You guys turn out fine. But your kids, something's got to be done about your kids. So
we have
come
kids.
on, take this.
Right. In that case,
Hurry up. Are you guys ready?
yes.
Let's go back to the future.
Back to the future. Whoa!
哇，真是一日不见如隔3秋。Marty 在1965年觉得很久没有见到他女朋友，可他回来他就看到哦 ，baby， 见到你真好。Are you ever a sight for sore eyes? A sight for sore eyes， 这是一个常讲的一种，就是说一个人赏心悦目，会有这种久旱逢甘霖这种讲法，或者是见到你真好，哇，看到你真好。You ever a sight for sore eyes? You're a sight for sore eyes， 就是我眼睛很痛，我看到你，眼睛就很舒畅。OK，let me look at you。然后女朋友说，你感觉好像是不是很久没见到我？然后其实他是真的没有见到我，但是然后这时候怪博士又出现了，说我们要回到这个未来去拯救你的小孩。然后呢，Marty 说 ，Come on, Doc, I'm with my girlfriend here。我现在跟我女朋友在这边，而且 we're just about to try out my new wheels。Wheels 我们知道是轮子，对不对？但是他当然不可能去试轮子，这边就是4个轮子的东西，就是车子嘛，我要去试我的新车。那有时候人家不会讲说 I'm gonna check out my new car， 他会说 I'm gonna check out my new wheels。OK， 所以轮子也有就是 wheels 复数也有这个车子的意思。然后但是那个疯狂博士就说 We'll bring her along， 我们带她一起去未来。This concerns her too， 这跟她有关耶，这是跟她非常非常有关系。This concerns her too， 这跟她积极有关。然后那 Marty 就说什么意思？到底发生什么事情呢 ？Do we turn into bad people? Do we turn into bad people or something？ 然后那个 Dr. Brown 就说 No, you guys turn out fine， 你们没有问题，是你们生的小孩。原来他们未来要结婚了，他们接下来就会发生一些麻烦，我们一定要回去未来解决它，让我们一起回到未来吧！请继续收看电影《龙卷风》。